Welcome to another tutorial of C programming language. Today we are going to see decisions in C programming language. Every day in our life we take many decisions. If there is traffic in this route, I would prefer to take an alternative route. If there is no traffic, I will go in the same route. If it is raining, I would like to play some indoor game like carom board. If it is not raining and if it's a sunny and bright day, I would prefer to play cricket. Similarly, in programming also, there are many decisions that need to be taken. Example, when you are going to the Facebook login page, okay, suppose, okay, now if I give the right password, it will take me to my user page. If I give the wrong password, it will say that invalid password and it will ask me to enter the right password. So it's making a decision based on the password that I am giving. If it is right, take me to the user page. If it is wrong, show me a warning that it is a wrong password. Okay, so here the Facebook algorithm is taking a decision whether to take the user to the profile or don't take him to the profile. Okay, similarly there are other examples. Suppose if you are using Instagram and you applied a particular filter, so for that particular filter it will apply some effects. Okay, if you use another filter, it will give another effect. So it is taking a decision based on the filter, it is giving the effects on the image. Okay, in C programming language there are mainly three types of decision making which is done. Okay, normal, just normal if statement. Okay, second is if else statement, and third is conditional operators. We will look about the conditional operators in the next class. For now, we will just check the if statement and the if else statement. Okay. Now, let us see what is an if statement in C language. Okay. We will do this by an example. So what we are doing is we are asking the user to enter a number and we are going to check if the number is less than 10 and we are going to execute some statements. Okay. So first we have declared a number. Okay. Now we are asking the user to enter the number. Okay. Next we are going to read the number so that the user is typing on the console. Okay. So percentile D is to read the integer and we are going to give the declared variable number. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to check. Example, we can say, suppose if number is less than 10, I would want to print some statement. Okay. We'll execute the statement. Entered number is less than 10. So what is happening? We are asking the user to enter a number. Once the user enters the number, what we are going to do? We are going to check if this number is less than 10 and then we are going to print a message the entered number is less than 10. Okay, let's see. Print F. So let's enter the number. Suppose I entered that value 8. 8 is less than 10, so entered number is less than 10. Okay, that's fine. So far so good. So what is happening? There is a condition here or an expression, and if that is true, the statements are going to be executed. We can also check greater than, less than, or greater than equal to, or less than equal to also we can check. Okay, and if you want to check if the number is not equal to 10, we have to use this symbol. Okay, exclamation and equal to. Okay, not, this symbol stands for not and this symbol is equal to, so not equal to. Okay, fine. Now if we want to check if the number is equal to 10, what we have to do, we'll see. Okay, Before we learn how to check a number is equal to another number, I want to show you something else. So what will be the output of this following program? If 5, okay, print first state if statement is executing. If -5, second if statement is executing. If 0, printf third statement is executing. The third statement is executing. So what will be the output of the following program? If your answer is the first and the second if statements will be executed and third printf statement will not be executed, that is the right answer. So what happens is, in an if condition, if you put any non-zero number, it will be true. Okay, so 5 is a non-zero number, so it is true. Similarly, -5 is also a non-zero number, so this expression will be executed and this statement will be executed. Okay, but when you put a 0, then this statement will not be executed. Okay, if you translate it, if any non-zero number is true, 0 will be false. So this is a false inside the statement, so this statement will not be executed. Okay, let's run this program and see. First if statement is executed, second if statement is executed. Okay, but the third one is not executed because 0 means the statement will not be executed. Okay, now we'll see if we want to check if a number is equal to a particular number. Okay, we'll do the same example as earlier. Okay, we'll declare a number. We'll ask the user to enter the value of the number. Okay, then we are going to read that value into the variable called number, and then we are going to check if this number equal to 10. So suppose if I wrote just 1 equal to, let's see what will happen. Okay, enter number is 10. Okay, we'll execute this program and we'll see what will be the output. Okay, suppose if I entered 10, what will be the output? The entered number is 10. Okay, entered number is 10. Suppose if I entered 5, ideally what is their expectation? It should not print that statement entered number is 10, but let's see what will happen. Okay, so it's telling entered number is 10, but we entered 5, but it is telling entered number is 10. So why is this happening? So equal to means assignment operator in C language. So whenever you're making number equal to 10, so you're assigning 10 to number. So number it was 5 earlier. Now what happened? So when we entered 5, number was stored as 5, but now what is happening? 10 is stored in place of 5, so 5 is overwritten. Now the value of the number is 10, and in the if condition there is a number non-zero number 10 is there. Okay, so since a non-zero number is there means it is true, so the statement will be executed. Okay, so now if we want to check whether the number is 10 or not, what we have to do? We have to give 2 equals. Okay, so this is how we will check whether a number is equal to another number. So 2 equals equal to symbols should be there. So if number is equals to 10, then it will say that entered number is 10. If we entered some other number, say example 5, it will not print the statement. Let's see this. So suppose if I enter 10, it says entered number is 10, but if I enter 5, it doesn't print anything. Okay, so if statement is not executed and program has ended. Okay, that is how we will check whether a number is equal to another number. So the next topic in our discussion is if else statement. Okay, till now what we were seeing is, if this condition is true, execute these statements. But what if that condition is not true, that we are not writing? Okay, so that will come in the else statement. Okay, so example, we are telling that if this expression is true, okay, we are going to execute the statements. Okay, and if it is not true, we are not doing anything. So that's why we write another expression called else. Okay, this else statement, what it will does is, if this condition is not true, then we will execute the statements in the else block. Okay, so we'll do an example. Okay, suppose there is a grocery store and we are doing a billing machine. Okay, so what is happening is, so we we gave an offer that if you purchase more than 10 quantity, there will be a reduction in the price. Okay. So if the quantity is less than 10, it's the normal price 10 rupees. But if you order more than 10, the price should be 9 rupees. Okay. So what we do? So we declare two variables, quantity and price, and then we asked the user to enter the quantity. Okay. So the quantity entered has come here. So if the quantity is less than 10, then the price is going to be 10 rupees. So as usual. Okay. But if the quantity is greater than 10 rupees, what happens is there is a discount. So price is 9 rupees. Okay. So if he orders some 5 quantity, so 5 into 10, 50 rupees he has to pay. But if he orders some 50 quantity, 50 into 9, 450 he has to pay. Okay. Then we are printing the price. So let us run this program. Okay. So let's enter the quantity. Suppose we entered exactly 5, then what it should be? It should be 50 rupees. Okay. So total price is 50 rupees. Okay. Suppose if we enter 50, so 9 into 50, 450 rupees should be the price. Okay. The total price is 450. So if else statement works like this. Okay. Suppose if we want to do another condition, suppose if some customer is ordering huge quantity, suppose 500 rupees, 500 quantity is ordering, we want to give further discount, we want to make it 7 rupees. So what we can do? So we can write else if, okay, and then we can write else. Okay. So we can write another condition. Okay. So if we want to write as many conditions, as many else ifs we can write. Okay. So now we can write if quantity is less than 10, 10 rupees. If quantity is 10 to 50, okay. Quantity is greater than 10, but less than 50, okay. Quantity less than. So now these two conditions are there, quantity greater than 10 and quantity less than 50. So two conditions are there. So how we will join the two conditions? We can write and symbol, okay. If we write two and symbols, then it will become, it will check this condition as well as this condition. Okay. Quantity should be less than 10, so greater than 10, also quantity should be less than 50. So this and operator will be checking both the conditions. Okay. Suppose if we have or condition, it will check either one of them. If it's true also, it will execute this. But in our case, we want to check if both of them are true. Okay. If quantity is greater than 10 but less than 50, we want to give 9 rupees. But if the quantity is greater than 50, we want to give the further discount and make it 7 rupees. Okay. 7 into quantity. Okay. This is how it works. Okay. Let's execute this. We are ordering some 55, it should be 7 into 55. Okay. So 385 rupees. So it's executing correctly.